Kelly, and today we're going to be looking at two very comparable tablets. One being the iPad 4th generation with retina display from Apple, as well as the Nexus 10 from Samsung. The iPad has the supposedly unbeatable retina display, however the Samsung's Super AMOLED technology definitely beats it here. The iPad has an impressively detailed screen with 264 pixels per inch, however the Nexus 10 beats that with 300 pixels per inch. In the weight category, we have the iPad at 652 grams and your Nexus 10 at only 602 grams, which will make the Nexus 10 a little bit easier to hold. To the top left, you're going to have your unlock and lock button, and to the left of that, you'll have your volume rocker. On the right side, you have an HDMI output. That feature is also available in iPad, but only through an adapter. On the bottom, we have our 6-pin magnetic pogo charger, and to the left, we have our charging port, as well as our 3.5mm standard headphone jack. At the top, you'll see our front-facing camera, and you have your front-facing speakers on both your right and left side. On the back, you'll see your rear-facing camera, which also features a flash, not available in iPad. And as you can see, it's backed by a rubbery, grippy type of surface. To the right side, you have a volume rocker. Right above that, you have your lock and unlock for your auto rotation. To the top side of the iPad, you have your 3.5mm headphone jack, as well as your mic right in the middle. The back of the iPad has a fingerprint-proof surface. Right here we have our lightning port charger, and right next to that we see our speakers. Your customization on the iPad is going to be little to none, whereas that is one of the biggest features that sets the Android market apart from your Apple Store. You can still do folders on both machines. You can just click and drag to add them. However, on the Nexus 10, you can have widgets. Widgets are things that go on your homepage that make it easier for you to see like what's happening or updates. There's a ton of different types of widgets. You can get clock widgets. I have a bookmark widget, so I can have all my bookmarks from my internet viewing up. And I have that right on my homepage, so I don't have to go through my browser and open out my bookmarks, but it's just right there on my homepage. One of the cool widgets on here is your calendar. With your Google Atmosphere, it'll keep you updated. So for me, if I want to my calendar up on my phone, anything I put in there will show up on my calendar widget on my Nexus 10. The screen switching is very fast on both devices. I use the accounts for one of my personal and my schooling. So right down here you'll see these two icons. This is my normal account, which I have this. And if I want to get to my school account, I can just click on this. It'll switch everything over. And now I'm ready for my school account. One of the cool things on here for your home screen, you have a little scrolling block here. You know, you can have the time, your music, I have flashlight, and I have my work calendar all right there without even having to unlock it. Looking at the cameras, they both look very similar with excellent quality. They both take video in 1080p HD. What I do want you to notice is, and it might be kind of hard to see, there is probably a good 1 centimeter to 2 centimeter black bar on either side of your video, whereas definitely half that on the Nexus 10. So it definitely uses the full, or more so, potential that you have in your viewing experience. For your multitasking on the iPad 4th generation with Retina display, you'll have to double tap, and all your current or recent applications have been opened or will be right there. On the Nexus 10, it has a designated multitasking. I think that's something that Android's always been a little bit farther ahead of than Apple products, is a multitasking. To close any of these, you'll just slide them over. Or if you want to open one up, you just open it up. Here, if you want to close them, what you'll have to do is you'll have to click and hold, and then you can close them. As far as gaming goes, I think the iPad has better graphics. However, the Nexus 10 has a bigger screen, so if you want a big playing space, the Nexus 10 is definitely for you. But if you want good graphics, go for the iPad. Let's take a look at the operating system. On your iPad, you're running iOS 6.1.2, and on your Android device, you are running Android 4.2.2, codenamed Jelly Bean. On the iPad, you're going to have an App Store, and the Nexus 10, Google Play Store. The Google Play Store is all-inclusive, meaning that it has the apps, music, books, magazines, movies, and TVs all together. Whereas on your iPad App Store, you're going to have an App Store, which will have your, obviously, apps, your games, and books and magazines. However, to get your music, you'll have to go to iTunes, which is a completely separate thing. So here, if you want to get to music, you can go back and get to your music. Here you're going to have to go to iTunes. So right here you have all your music, but it's all contained into one Google Play Store. You don't have to go on here. You have to go to iTunes, or you have to go to your App Store just to find those. But like I said, it's all right here. Here we have music. And here we have music. You can definitely get a bunch of different apps for music. I have a couple on here. We have this for music. Let's look at our notification system. The iPad features one in the middle. It just one swipe down, it'll show all your updates right there. All your, Facebook, Twitter, whatever would be right there. It has these features. You can tap to tweet or tap to post. Those are kind of neat. Your Nexus 10 has two sides. Over here we have our information. We have your brightness, your internet connection, your battery, your Bluetooth, and everything else over there. Over here we have your notifications from Facebook and Twitter and all that extra stuff. Now, as far as the battery goes, your iPad 4 is definitely going to outlast the Nexus 10. Now, you can do some things to your Nexus 10 to make it run longer. Definitely decrease your brightness. Not have a live wallpaper helps. And there's other things you can do to make it last longer. But, if they were to be running the same things, iPad 4 would definitely outlast the Nexus 10. In conclusion, the Nexus overtakes the iPad in many ways, like your screen resolution, your RAM, your larger screen size, its lighter, and overall pricing. So if I were to declare a winner overall, it would definitely have to be the Nexus 10 here.